Wait, you didn't hear that?
No.
Hold on.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Start over.
Ooh. Oh, I know why. Maybe. Yeah, I know why. All right, ready?
Yep.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers. And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
That's the difference between you and me. You talk about it, I do it.
Sit down, Marks!
Let me talk to you. Acknowledge me.
What's happening? What's happening, everybody? Come on in, sit down. It's time for another episode of the Sit Down Marks podcast, episode number 191.
Holy
actually, of the Sit Down Marks podcast. Today, ladies and gentlemen, got a lot to talk about because we just had a real big PLE, as they call them now. No more PPV, it's PLE now. So SummerSlam. So we got a lot to talk about SummerSlam. So thank you guys for joining us today on sitdownmarks.com and everybody watching on Facebook as well. I want to thank everybody for listening on all those podcast platforms out there, Spotify, Apple, Audible. If they're yearning for that WWE product, I guess that's one way to look at it. Or
they're making Worlds Collide 2 nights and 2 locations.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's news to me. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, awesome. So, all right. So, 2 of the 3 marks today. You got the OGs today. Dylan, we'll just say that he's on assignment or something like that.
He's on location on assignment.
Yeah, so he's on location on assignment, not able to join us today. So he'll be checking back in with us coming up in another podcast coming up here very soon. So make sure you wait for the return of the very much over, as he says, or as Dylan is in the independent wrestling world.
He's vibing and thriving somewhere.
Vibing and thriving. Yep, we'll get it in for him for sure. For sure. All right, let's get to it, man. If you're ready, Primo, it's hot start time. 5 topics in the world of professional wrestling.
But no, I mean, I'd like to see. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully he doesn't fade into obscurity.
Right.
Like kind of like Cardona's done, but
right. Yeah.
I think that they have a good opportunity, and so does he, to do some awesome stuff here. They don't have that many giants.
Right. Boy, is he shredded this time too, man.
Yeah.
Like, he is in super good shape. But I'm glad he's getting another, another chance, another crack at it, at WWE. So, they like their big guys. So,
Now, Creed does have the ties to TNA, but that's like old TNA. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I feel like, you said it right there. I feel like if they went to TNA, it would be a quick burn. They'll probably be doing more skits and that kind of stuff. And, but yeah, the most talent that they can wrestle and, to have great matches with is definitely in AEW. I think we're going to see him at All In. It shows to me like how long he's been around, what a great athlete he was, just, top tier. And I think, and like I've been so up and down on Brock in his career. There's times where I loved seeing him wrestling, and there's times when that music hit and I'm like, fuck, damn it. He won the Royal Rumble we went to. I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's pretty cool. We could say we were there though now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think when I seriously think of Brock, I think dude is like a one of one. There's no other like him.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, legit badass, Minnesota national champion, how many ever times he was.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, pick number 4 right here. This just came down, Primo, not long right before we went live here, man. So Terry Funk's brother, Dory Funk Jr., passed away today at the age of 85. I wanted to talk about him today because this is one of the first guys. So, like when dad was showing me wrestlers, right? Like whenever I was, growing up, I mean, he's like, the Hearts, I mean, that kind of stuff. Just put in so much work in wrestling to make it better. He comes from an era, long, long time ago. I used to love seeing him at conventions and stuff like that and signing stuff because he always have that like customary, cowboy hat on. So, but I remember the Funks like in the AWA, the American Wrestling Association, that was based kind of like in the Minnesota area, all around there growing up too. And I remember it was on like ESPN growing up. And I got to see Dory Funk a lot because he was either wrestling on there or talking about something a lot. So, wrestling is a lot better place because of Dory Funk Jr. for sure. All right. Next up, Primo, final one, number 5, man. So let's talk about AEW, man. Like, what do we think is Kenny as champ? I don't think we took July off with flagships because Summer and Kenny won during that time. But I like this run this time. Like it feels more like he's back, from the surgery and the injuries. And I love this feud with MJF. But how you feeling about Kenny as the champ this time around?
Great. I was excited for him when he won it, and he's he's one of the guys in AEW that I make sure that I pay attention to when his entrance hits my screen. So I was excited, like I said, when he won, and I also think that it was kind of important for him to get it because he can pass that torch to Ospreay whenever they go to Wembley.
Yeah. Let's talk about that because I don't have anything in that. Would that, I feel like maybe, is there like another Cody situation here? You know what I mean? Or you think 100% like Will's going to win, or is it going to be one of those where he gets to the mountain and loses and then comes all the way back again? You know what I mean?
I don't. So based on since he returned from neck injury and his battle with the Death Riders to join the Death Riders, and now he's outed from the Death Riders again because he left them, and even Kenny like kind of attacked him last week. So he's it's kind of built up so much,
right,
that he needs to win in front of his home country.
Yeah, and boy, are they gonna be clamoring for it. You know what I mean? They could really I don't know. They could really pull the rug out from under them.
That's true, and it's true. They say you
don't
don't win at home, so
right
until you do. You know what I mean? So
right,
like Chad Gable, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But I am really looking forward to that one though.
It's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, it is gonna be a banger, and I feel like it might be like a Okada Omega West Coast in Los Angeles. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, LA. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I'll never pull for your Lakers, but otherwise, you guys are doing just fine. Otherwise, in sports, but Los Angeles is always a fun city. I have visited there before, but yeah, just want to give a shout out to Los Angeles. Say thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And thanks for continuing to give us some support. So thanks a lot, guys. All right, with that, let's move on to the Dropkick discussion, which is SummerSlam. Like it did, and I love the Viking logos and stuff that were popping up through there. I thought that was dope as hell.
Yeah, and they had that text that looked like it was like chiseled out of stone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was the right time period for Vikings, but
sure.
No, I'm not picky like that. But I would
pertaining here. I think these two just have beautiful chemistry, man.
Yes.
Like they could wrestle all the time, and it would be awesome. You know what I mean? I think this was the right move. I hated the first match having interference. I would have liked to seen just kind of you know what I mean? But I understand they kind of have to because that's what Judgment Day's.
Yeah.
MO
it's
is.
their MO,
I mean?
yeah. I agree that, and I think this was a great call for an opener. It was a banger, even though
Yeah.
it did end in well,
Pop the weekend.
the megastar.
Yeah. Gears of War, the Fatu mask,
Yep.
I thought that was,
I will say it was real subtle because besides being on his mask, I didn't realize until halfway through the match that it was also on the Usos gear,
mhm.
the little gear symbol.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a request of theirs that it had to be like not so obvious.
Right.
But yeah, I think that another thing about this match was just the crowd is eating up Babyface Solo.
Mhm.
He is so funny.
He's funny, dude.
He is very funny.
The best part of the match was when he ran the yeet back.
Yeah,
that, like that's smart. Like, you know what I mean?
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's good shit. Match number 3 was Gunther versus Aldis. Gunther wins
National
by
treasure.
sleeper. Yep, the national treasure making his debut and retirement match maybe in WWE all in one night.
Yeah. So I thought it was weird because when he came out, I mean, obviously he got a fantastic pop, and
mhm.
he still looks like $1 million.
Don't he?
But when they come out, they have the little facts on the side of like he won. He's a former TNA Tag Team Champion, former TNA World Champion.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, but when he was the national treasure, he was NWA champ, and they didn't put that up there. But then right after that went away, Michael Cole mentioned it, that he was the NWA champ.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was cool then was I was like, all right, well, they're not even going to mention NWA. You know what I mean? They're not going to acknowledge it. But I was like, all right, cool. All right, 2026. I'll take it. This match felt short, and long at the same time, kind of to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like I wasn't super happy with it, but I felt like I was just kind of watching all this, just see, you know what I mean? I just felt, you know what I mean? But
you could tell whenever he got real blown up, but who wouldn't?
yeah, right. I know. I mean, the dude like had to soak all that up and then go wrestle, and he hasn't wrestled in so long. But let me tell you, brother, I'm a big Oasis fan.
Oh yeah.
If you've listened to the list, our side project, I think Oasis was like number 3 or 4 on my list, dude. Like I popped so hard for that when I heard the first couple notes of that song. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
that was sick.
It was sick, man. It was very cool. I always loved it too. I'm like, heck yeah, man. I'm like, it just, like that. Oasis is the UK. You know what I mean? Like they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you heard Wade Barrett marking out for it.
Yeah,
so he was going nuts.
It's fantastic, dude. Match number 4 was Fatal Influence versus the Bellas and Paige. Fatal Influence wins here. I felt like Paige looks a little, I don't know, man. Like maybe she should be wrestling or something. She just looks a little unhealthy to me at the moment. I don't know. Like she needs to go to the gym. Maybe that's the best way to say it. I don't know.
I mean,
she just looks.
Go ahead.
I was just to say she just looks like kind of small. You know what I mean? And just but I know they kind of got to do this like little nostalgia tour for Bells and and Paige or whatever. But JC Jane, I feel like come out looking like a star. She's gonna be such a good heel. In the women's division. But what do you think?
So, and that's what I was gonna say. Regardless of, it's just weird seeing, and no offense to the Bellas and Paige, they were great during their time, but it's kind of weird seeing the Divas in the ring with the Divas era wrestlers, I should say, in the ring with the current women's roster, because like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it is weird.
It feels like,
But then at the same time, I think this was the right move for Fatal Influence to go over. They have been on fire since they came to SmackDown, and they are an actual team versus the Bellas and Paige. For some reason, they're aligned, but no, I thought Fatal Influence. And yeah, you're right. She came out in the Shawn Michaels get up, the hat. So cool.
Yeah. And then the Bellas turned on, Paige, which that's probably the right move. Like, get them the hell away from Fatal Influence. Let them fight each other. Somebody leaves town match or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we'll be happy.
And then it turns out, I think Brie actually had her shoulder hurt too.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's still cool. Don't get me wrong. It's still cool when the Bells music hits and when they come out. But, man, once that bell rings, that's when I'm like, ugh. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, I've
You
never
know what I
really,
mean? But,
never really cared.
yeah. Match number 5, Cody versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship. We'll start at the top, though. Cody Street Fighter entrance with the Guile.
The Guile haircut, yeah, on
haircut
skull.
on the
Yeah.
skull. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's wearing on me.
my immediate reaction was to clown on it, but yeah, you're right. It did grow on me,
Right.
like
yeah.
that hair grew.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think it was pretty cool, and especially it grew on me so fast. His gear did that when he got into the ring. I saw that he had Air Force emblems on his jacket. And I told my brother, so, okay, I'm sold because I was
You're in
obviously
now.
in the Air Force. So
Yeah, right.
I was like, okay, the gear's cool now.
Where Punk misses Cody and hits the table, that was pretty gnarly. Like he looked like it hurt.
That and when he kind of went squirreling on the moonsault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that looked like it hurt. But RKO, Randy shows up, hits Cody with an RKO. Punk doesn't see it, kind of thing. GTS retains the title. Crowd seemed a little dead in this match, more than they should have been until they saw Randy, and then it was on.
Yeah, I thought it was obviously it's a co-main,
right?
But I saw it's kind of a weird spot to be because like if you're there, that the Hell in a Cell match is next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a little spicy. It almost seems like this should have, I love Liv and but it almost seems like this should have opened with this kind of.
That might have been a good idea.
Yeah. Just because if we're going home with the Hell in a Cell match, but all right, let's get to it, buddy. Let's talk about main event night 1, Hell in a Cell. I was a little shocked when I found out this, but Brock's a Minnesota guy. They're going, he's retiring now, so it kind of makes sense. They want to do this pass the torch thing, which I want to talk about that in here in just a minute because I just feel like a idiot watching it. But so Hell in a Cell, I love this slugfest, right? Big man stuff. What Oba kick out of I think 3 F5s is what I put down
at least
here. Yeah. But I mean I know this was like an Oba passing the torch feature match, but so what I kind of keep going back to is Oba gave up a title shot to be able to, you know what I mean? Because he won the King of the Ring, right?
Yep.
To go beat Brock again. So, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's enough. You know what I mean? But like, I just don't know why that would make sense in a modern day world of wrestling.
But, no, it doesn't quite make sense at all. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah. And another thing too is like, and I know I want to, say I know that WE like thinks that we're like idiots. Like, did they really need Brock to say I'm the past, he's the future?
Right.
He said it twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no.
He said it, make sure we can hear it.
Yeah, right. I know. All you gotta do is just like raise his hand. He's beat you twice. You know what I mean? Like, we get it now. Like, yes, we already know this. You don't have to say it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say something like, I'm retiring or something, like, you know what I mean? But I just felt like we could see this already, you know what I mean? But I mean, the match was pretty good. A few little small spots, you know what I mean? But they're big, man. It's going to happen. I'm never a fan of usually anything when they start tearing up showing the guts of the ring. You know what I mean? I'm usually not a big fan of that, but there has been some spots that I've enjoyed, but he kicked out of the Tombstone Pile Driver, on the board or whatever.
On the exposed board,
what I mean? Yeah, I'm like, God, they're making like, Oba he can never fall down from a punch. Like, he better not ever sell a punch ever. You know what I mean? I was like, damn. But I mean, otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, it was okay. It was all right.
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed Hell in the Cell.
It didn't really feel like it did.
No, I didn't. Like, we were talking, me and my brother were talking about during the match. Like, I'm sitting here like, man, for this being a Hell in a Cell match, they're not really using the Hell in the Cell part. They did a couple spots where he slammed him into this cage, but that's it. Like beyond that, it was pretty much not necessary to have the heck in the sec, as we say here in the Primo
Right.
household.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was cool. The exposed boards when when he landed from that fall from grace and looked at the exposed boards, everybody's thinking like, well, did Oba miss?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But no
Yeah.
one knows, obviously.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. Let's smelly mark night 1 to 10. What'd you think?
1 to 10. The banger at the opening, the match from Aldis, like just getting to see him wrestle in WWE was cool. And the Randy Orton returning, CM Punk retaining, and just having a gimmick match on night 1. So I think, honestly, I'll give it an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right there close to you. I'm going 7. I really love that. Really love the opener. Yeah, all this popped me. Randy coming back was good. Night 2, brother. Let's jump in. Night 2, WWE SummerSlam, number 1 contenders match. Kick this thing off. Newly reinstated GM Nick Aldis adds Gunther to the number 1 contender match, and then he also adds your brother to the match.
He sure did. He sure did.
Kevin Owens. Man, did I love hearing that.
I popped
music,
hard for that, man.
God, yes. I was like, this is how you start.
Yes, we were going crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, this is how you start. And what's funny is like, I was like, hell yeah. I had like a moment with my son because Kevin Owens come out, we're watching it, and like he hasn't seen Kevin Owens in a while.
Yeah.
He's got a Kevin Owens action figure, but I just haven't seen him play with him quite a while. It's in the pile, right? You know what I mean? Kevin comes out and he goes, my son looks, he goes, Kevin Owens. And I looked over at him like, oh my God, he's popping too. Like, this is fantastic. Like,
that is amazing.
Man, he blew the roof off that place, man. It was great. I know, right? Yeah, it really is. But getting the stunner and getting the win, you know what I mean, here. And all of a sudden he's number 1 contender. And man, am I here? Do they have me for Punk and KO now?
Oh, yeah. They're finally going to have that singles match. So coming into this match, obviously I wanted Finn to win. I really wanted Finn to win. Yeah. Even whenever Aldis called out Gunther, I still wanted Finn to win. I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a little harder for Finn, but I still want him to win. And then my brother came out. And I was like, oh, well, that changes things.
Sure.
So, but there was still, KO and Finn 1 and 2, and as far as my opinion went, and that KO ended up winning, which is pretty awesome. And I feel bad for Finn, but his time will come. I feel like it's one of those things where he's back in that main event, like, shuffle. So he's not, you know what I mean? So he's going to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got to get in the mix. He's got to have like some sort of pissed off attitude, after this about finally getting there and not, I thought about this the other day. I was like, you remember back in the old days in NWA, they had a world heavyweight champion. They had a junior heavyweight champion. If we still had a junior heavyweight champion, Finn would be awesome at that, man.
Oh, yeah.
He could, you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see him run forever. Anyway, that's kind of a side note, but match number 2, U.S. title, Trick Williams versus the returning Baron Corbin. I'll say, Primo, I didn't see this one coming. I really didn't.
I thought that if they didn't do this, then what's the point of him coming back?
True. Yeah. I didn't even think of it like that. I was just kind of thinking, okay, here's another guy that's come back that they just signed. It's kind of like from another era, and this is going to be kind of like the Trick's going to beat him. This is going to be another way to kind of like keep elevating. But also, I wasn't mad at it because it's kind of a good way to get the title off Trick to move on. Yeah.
And Baron needs that heat because, like in MLW and Bloodsport and stuff like that, he was known as more of a badass, like more of a, no frills, just whoop your ass kind of guy.
Roughneck. Yeah.
And so he needs that. And otherwise, I feel like if he would have came in and lost this match, then they would be just right back to bum ass Baron Corbin that he was before,
Yeah. Yeah. They got to present him a little better this time, I guess, if they're going to build him up. Man, why can't we go back to the Lone Wolf music though? You know what I mean?
I agree with that though.
I didn't like this new one. Maybe wrote one, but it just seemed it's a little like you know what I mean. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, well. And can we be done with little Yachty now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude can't even go to a table right. Like,
Maybe. I mean,
write him
he's the one celebrity I haven't minded. He's been a decent little addition to Trick Williams, but even with the glittery kendo stick,
yeah,
or Singapore cane, depending on where you're from.
yeah,
I think he's fine. He doesn't show up all the time.
right.
And but no, I agree with you. He didn't even have enough ass to go through the table.
Match number 3 sounds like Rhea's going to be out for a while, so we have to get us a new interim champ. Never too big a fan of interim, but man, when something happens like what happened at this SummerSlam, man, I'm all in. This match was, Tiffany, Lash, Charlotte, Jade Cargill, Chelsea. I believe that's everybody, right? It's a 5-way. Yeah, 5-way. Yep. Matt Cardona sitting front row.
Hell yeah.
Man,
biggest fan of his wife.
Yeah, man, everybody loves Chelsea, man. Like that was a fucking awesome. Like I love how she just kind of like came back to life. It's cheesy, but whatever. You know what I mean? But man, yeah, anytime Chelsea gets a championship or some kind of accolade, I'm like, man, she deserves it because man, that chick puts so much work into her character work. Her facial expressions. Just watch her entrance. Watch her watch what she does. Just walking to the ring. Like,
yeah,
you're getting 4 or 5 different poses. She's eyeballing fans. She's making interactions. She's being funny. She's looking sexy. She's looking like an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking gets it, man. Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? She could yeah, it was great, man. I was always love to see her, and she might lose it this Friday at SmackDown, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't even be mad, you know what I mean? But she's a high level performer, man. She, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So at this point in the match, especially after she won, my brother said, so they're basically just doing fan service for me, Primo, tonight, because so far at that point, everything I wanted had happened. And as far as KO returning in. But no, Chelsea winning was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When she was hanging upside down, I was just telling my brother that I was like, man, the core strength that she's gonna need to do a sit-up is gonna be crazy, but I have a feeling that's what she's gonna do eventually.
Yeah.
She was there a minute.
It was just laying there dead. Just,
yeah. And then on top of that, I text you guys, and it's not often I do it, but I was rooting for Charlotte or Chelsea. Obviously, I wanted Chelsea to win, but I was also rooting for Charlotte because I absolutely did not want Jade to win.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think I knew Lash wasn't going to win just yet. She's great. And I have nothing against her. I said to my brother that she belongs in the TV show Xena Warrior Princess, fighting Xena because she's like an Amazon woman.
Yeah,
But and then Tiffy doesn't need another title; she has the U.S. Championship. So
right,
I was like, dude. So I just didn't think they were gonna pull the trigger on Chelsea. So that's why I was rooting for Charlotte. And then when they did, man, I was hyped. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And it was like we knew she was, as soon as she sit up, you know what I mean? It was like, there's nobody around, nobody. Everybody's dead.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, that was good stuff, man. So I was happy to see that. Match number 4, Human Monies on a Pole match. Danhausen versus Dominic. JD McDonough, man, that dude is just, man, God, that dude can just bump his ass off. He just makes everything fun. Everything just looks so good. We saw the mini Housens. We saw the return of Torito Housen. Hendry interferes, but also Danhausen gets the win. I didn't see the money. I didn't ever pay attention to the money, so I think I ran to the bathroom as soon as he won. But they said he was throwing the money to the crowd. I don't know if it was like real money.
Pretty sure it was fake money with Danhausen's face on it.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. I thought it was kind of funny. What'd you think about this one, man? Any good?
I mean,
Good comedy spot.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
comedy spot, good little breather.
Mhm.
And I don't have a problem, but I'm still a big fan of Dom. And
Yeah.
you're right about JD. What's funny is JD, he had a picture, or excuse me, posted a picture of him choke slamming one of the minis, and he said this must be what Oba feels like. But yeah, there was a comedian. I think he ended up being one of the mini houses, and he was there. You're right. Torito Housen was there, and so they keep having these mini housings.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it anymore. It was funny the first couple times, and I still think Danhausen's funny, but I thought this was going to be the payoff for whatever he had on that bed under the sheet. But I guess not. Unless that was supposed to be the cat like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. All right. Match number 5. So Penta versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. Now, storybook and storyline ending probably for Chad, you know what I mean? Like, he's coming back home. We're coming off this El Grande Americano, storyline, where he lost his mask. Fans are kind of like back behind him again. He's got new music. He's trying to do this clap thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was hoping they'd pull the rug and let Penta win and, have him keep building too. You know what I mean? But they didn't. They gave it to him. You know what I mean? But, I mean, anything Chad gets, he deserves, man. Hard worker. Matches are great, but, like I just feel like he's good to chase. I just don't know about his champion. Like, it just doesn't feel like it could be anything long term. He needs to be creative somehow.
He needs to come out with the 3 eyes and just
fucking,
what I'm saying? Just start doing that.
Sure.
Just being like, you need to be this way. This is the way a champion is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Right.
I thought it was cool. I mean, obviously they put on a great match, but also like, yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, it's not often that you get to win in front of your home crowd, and he did it right there. And I realized on Monday, I never realized this before, but the clap thing he's doing is kind of like the Minnesota Vikings skull that they do.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, with the music. All right, that makes a little more sense now.
Although I hate his new music, but whatever.
Me too. It's not good, man. It's not. Let's find something else to go with that. Just come out to the damn Viking song first. I don't care.
Right.
Let me ask you this though, man. Let me tell you this though. I expected a little more out of this match, honestly. Like I kind of thought they would go a little bit harder, but is what it is. But I love this match, the IC title going on right before the main World Championship title. That's the way it used to be back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like when, if it's like the secondary title, I like on PLEs, it being the match right before, the undisputed title or whatever, or World Championship, something like. I like that. I noticed it back in that spot, and I was like, man, that's awesome. I don't know if they're doing it by design, but it's kind of like a nod to the way they used to do the cards in the old days. So I thought it was pretty cool. But don't get me wrong, I love a good 5-way scramble Intercontinental title match to kick off a card too. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
I'll take it like the hot opener. But all right, Primo, it's time to get to the big one, my friend.
Yes.
Match number 6, night 2, SummerSlam. The big one, the big payoff, the biggest storyline WWE had ingrained, I guess, going for years and years.
My favorite one.
Yeah, the last time these guys linked up in a match was when 22
we were there.
Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And so these guys haven't touched really in about 4 years in a match, and we were there. I mean, that's how long this story's kind of been burning. But here we are, man. So Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. I just told you that this is the biggest storyline left in WWE. 2 guys drenched in WWE from the beginning. We know the Shield history. Since the breakup, Roman has hasn't been able to defeat Seth, until tonight, obviously. But so many callbacks. I love how they didn't, didn't make it about just themselves. I love how they, still acknowledged that Dean was a part of this group. You know what I mean?
Oh,
With
yeah.
the mask and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. I love wrestling can be petty. You know what I'm saying? And like, it really can. When it comes to, so I'm glad that, like, not because this guy is a top guy over in AEW, we're just act like he don't exist or something. You know what I mean? But I like this, man. Yeah, this was cool.
I mean, we can't pretend that like he's like that. Moxley's like still not their boy,
right?
So,
for sure.
I mean?
Yeah. But I'm glad they didn't just ignore it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
But I like that. I talk about the callbacks. The Fossies. There were some no sales a lot in this match, but I feel like they were kind of like timely placed. But a great physical matchup. Two WWE professionals, if you ask me, probably the top two at the top of the mountain in that business or in that company, just working at a high level. This match delivered, man. You know what I mean? And it had to, you know what I mean? And it absolutely did. You ask me, they had the fans eating out of the palm of their hands. That's what I loved a lot about it, is they were hanging on to every move. Falsey, you know what I mean? Just, two professionals getting it done. Ended up being 3 spears that got the job done for Roman to complete the story, but I mean, I'm watching this, and like, I'm just like, this is a high level match. You know what I mean? This is 2 top guys, top of their game, top of their peak of popularity. There's a huge story ingrained. This is wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't get much more than that. Like there's, it literally had everything. You know what I mean? And so, Cole is already saying, like, this is over. Roman has completed. He's finally, this chapter of the story. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what happens next. But as far as this goes, man, like this has got to be, I think, probably a top 10 SummerSlam match ever. You know what I mean? With everything going on in it. I mean, I don't see how you don't put it in there. You know what I mean? So, but for WWE, man, like, I feel like this was like top tier, man. Like, I just thought this was good shit, man. I want to leave the floor open to you, Primo, too, here.
Yeah.
Because, I know you're a Seth guy. I watched it with more of a, kind of like, I just want to see him fucking just get, have a hell of a match and just complete the story. I don't, like, he could have went either way and I'd probably been happy, but you're a Seth guy, so I want to see what you're feeling during this.
Well, I mean, I like them both, but obviously Seth is my number one. He's the GOAT. But this story, you said it could be, wrestling can be petty, but wrestling can also obviously be poetic. And this is obviously a testament to that. They were able to finish their long-standing story of, brotherhood that they've had since the Shield days. It's my favorite story, or it was my favorite story in wrestling. I've put their rivalry up there against Austin Rock, for the great matches and memories that they've had and given us. And this match was awesome. And also, it made Seth look strong as hell. And that's another thing I've always said, was these two can be separated and doing their own thing, and Roman can be like a god amongst the rest of the roster. But as soon as these two wrestle, they're brothers and they're equals.
Yeah.
So they're on equal footing. And, normally you could say that Seth could wrestle circles around Roman, but there's a lot of factors in there. And it was cool to see Seth do the spear and Roman do the stomp. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Then, I thought there were only a couple things I had like some criticism about, which was it was not a falls count anywhere or no DQ match. And they were in the crowd for like a few minutes,
right?
Without a count out.
DQ.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he hit him with a damn freaking post that holds the damn barrier. So I was like, This is the second Roman match like in a row where there was a weapon used in a no DQ match, and the ref's just like, oh yeah, it's Roman, so we'll just stop.
Right.
And which I don't care because I like Roman, but I just think it's funny how like the rules get forgotten.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they come back in towards the ring and Charles Robinson starts counting.
Right, I know, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
whoever it was that was the ref. I don't remember. But
he counts to
so
100.
yeah, I was like, okay, but beyond that, great match, great ending to the match as far as the aftermath where you're right where I didn't expect that. I did not expect Roman to do the fist and for them to have that moment, and obviously they put the mask down in the middle, and even the callbacks to Ambrose Moxley when he did the rope thing off the ropes. I was like, oh, did you see the look? And then right after that Roman did the DDT. So I thought it was cool. The whole thing was cool. It also is very sad. I could watch this story forever.
Sure. You know, I mean, it's never really over, is it? I mean, they'd have to do something to spark it, but they're going to look at each other at some point again. You know,
that's why I'm like, you're telling me these guys are never going to wrestle again?
Yeah, no way, dude. Yeah. Oh man, good stuff. All right, let's smelly mark night 2, man. What do you think about night 2?
Night 2 for me was probably more of a 9. I liked it way better.
Sure.
I like I said earlier, my brother was just saying that was pretty much fan service for me.
Yeah. I'll go like an 8. You know, I love the main event, KO coming back. You know, that's plenty enough. But let's talk attendance real quick. So night 1 was more attended. 35,759 people versus night 2, 32,293 for a grand total of 68,052. I'm kind of surprised by that. Maybe that's because night 1's on a Saturday. You know, I'm guessing, you know, night 2 Sunday.
Oh yeah.
But night 2 is obviously the better card, you know?
Yeah. I mean, 2 things about that I actually have comments about. Number 1, did you see the pictures of hard cam side seats?
Yes.
Being empty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what it is. I mean, also it's like, I don't know why we're doing a stadium for this. So, I mean, it's not quite WrestleMania, but
right.
You know what I mean? Also, I'd say something I did appreciate and I vocalized was both nights and this is East Coast time, I was done by 9:00.
Yeah.
Or around
those early start times were nice.
Those and they're only 3 hours. I was like, this is awesome. I'm not up till midnight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yep. I stayed up Monday night watching the main event of that one, you know, trying not to fall asleep.
I was up later for Raw than I was for SummerSlam.
I know. Let's get to Raw, man, because I always like to talk about how companies will follow up. Well, I guess WWE really follow up you know, Monday Night Raw, the show after a big pay-per-view. But, you know, so they were in Des Moines, Iowa. We didn't get any Seth Rollins, which, you know, not a big deal, but, you know, Iowa, I think they get a little Seth. But WWE must have listened to the crowd because, you know, LA Knight got to come out and cut off Roman in the opening segment. So, you know, it's kind of a big deal. They're touching, you know, stuff there. We had Big Cass return to attack Javon. It doesn't, you know, at the moment, it doesn't feel like Enzo's coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it seems like a single run. You know what I mean? But he's at Performance Center or been seen there or something like that.
Yeah, that's what's confusing.
So you know, maybe they'll do both singles, or maybe they'll just bring Enzo back as just his manager or something. Maybe, you know. Becky and Stephanie Vaquer return, so they got some pretty good pops. What do you think?
I asked my wife if she thinks I'd look good in that bodysuit that Stephanie was wearing.
Oh man, she's pulling it off though for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Oba Paul Heyman kind of teaser there?
Interesting. I mean, I don't think Oba needs anybody.
I don't either.
Personally.
Man, I know that, you know, in wrestling they're scripted, you know what I mean? But man, he delivers a promo.
Really yeah, he does fine, but he's impactful.
Yeah.
You know, he's great. He has good cadence. Like everything about his promos is great.
Right. I wrote down that Chad Gable's song still sucks after hearing
It
it
does.
again, and so does Baron Corbin's. I looked that one up on iTunes. I think I was like, yeah, that's I don't know, man. But yeah, so I have a lot of friends in the Iowa area, man, and they went to Monday Night Raw last night, and they were all texting me on the way out of there talking about what a shitty Raw what they thought it was for being after. They want to see Seth first of all, but they're like, man, they sent us home on Fatu and Royce Keys,
Yeah.
like a street fight. You know what I mean? Like, but also my friends there are kind of over the bloodline a little bit too. So, and it was kind of like almost a bloodline invigoration because Roman came back out and gave Fatu the nod. Yeah, you're doing the family's work now, you know what I mean? Kind of deal, So, but, I always feel like too, especially with this match, it was a big match with Roman and Seth, right? And you had a ton of probably casual fans tuning in, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you try to hook them a little more on Monday night? Like I always think like it's such a letdown when you have such a good pay-per-view and then you follow Monday up with just kind of mediocre, you know what I mean? Like I always feel like that's the time to reel them in. You're like, oh shit, I can't wait till next Monday, you know what I mean? Or or Friday or whatever. But yeah, I thought I think they could have, I don't know, maybe went with something else there. But I mean, I don't know what, but I don't know. I don't understand that. It's like I just feel like they should be, knocking out of the park after.
I mean, I
match
agree.
like that.
After you're right. After you got them hooked,
Right?
Why not try to keep them and give
Yeah.
them something to be like, okay, this is pretty cool. Let's keep tuning in.
Like I had faith that that was going to be like a banger, last night.
Let's
like,
see
all
what
right,
happened.
I mean?
Becky came back. Cass came back.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't see KO. I would have liked to maybe seen him. I thought maybe we'd see him, but I don't know if he's SmackDown.
Well, he's the number one contender for the SmackDown Championship.
There you go. That's right. Yeah.
And also, oh yeah, speaking of that, I don't know if you paid attention to some of the post SummerSlam panels where CM Punk was like taking shots at Raw.
Yeah, I saw that. Like
he said, "I'll wrestle over there. They need the ratings boost."
I'm like, are you setting up for War Games, Raw versus SmackDown?
Good one. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So far away.
Yeah. I just feel like, all right, while you're in the press conference, make sure you, throw a little shot over at Raw, since we got War Games coming on, or something. But but overall, man, like I thought it was pretty good. Like this SummerSlam, it had a lot. It had a huge match. We had returns. We had the Aldis, thing going on there.
Yes.
So I thought it was pretty good all the way
there
around.
was stuff I actually looked forward to.
Mhm.
There were some surprises that I actually was surprised for. I wanted them to happen, but I wanted them to happen all year. So
Right.
just to see Randy come back finally and KO to finally return was awesome, obviously.
Yep.
But they're all just the matches. I was looking forward to both World Championship matches.
Mhm.
And even though I definitely like out of those two, I especially wanted Cody to lose.
Yeah. I'm definitely watching more AEW these days than WWE, but like I feel like after watching SummerSlam, like they do have me back a little bit more, now. So because KO and Punk, I want to watch that, you know what I mean? So I kind of been spot picking, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see how they do moving forward. So all right, Primo, that's going to do it for the drop kick discussion, brother. It's time to take us home, man. Let's hear a little word from referee Dan Perch.
This is referee Dan Perch, and come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
We'll remind everybody to follow at Sit Down Marks. Go subscribe to sitdownmarks.com and go follow Sit Down Marks podcast on Instagram. Want to remind you, too, that Volume 12 of Dreamwave Prelude is available right now. Going to be dropping another one coming up here in about 2 weeks with a featured match from the Psycho Silo Saloon match at Dreamwave's No Escape. So make sure you tune over and head over there and tune into that. But what's coming up on the podcast? We got a full slate of podcasts coming up for you. The summer kind of lull is a little bit over now. It's going to be cranking it back up for you. Next week, I'm going to be dropping a brand new Dibby Titty, as Primo says.
Dibby Titty.
DB's Territory Treasures, where I'm going to be talking about 1980s and 90s NWA, WCW talent enhancement, George South. So make sure you tune and check that one out. As we talked about, volume 13 of Prelude is going to be coming as well. So make sure you subscribe, sitdownmarks.com. And thanks for subscribing to us on all your favorite podcast platforms. It's going to be a busy month, so we got more coming up for you here later this month. And we'll get you out of here on this, Primo. Not long before we went live, brother, they announced the location of the 2027 Royal Rumble, and it's going to be back in Arizona at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. I think that's Glendale. Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Scottsdale.
Yeah, Scottsdale. There you go. Yeah, Scottsdale. So 2027 headed back there. I mean, shoot, that's 6-7 months from now.
That's
but
not that long.
Yeah. I feel like the last time they had it in Arizona, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was at the Diamondback Stadium, because I remember they had a really long
It's a
entrance.
great choice.
Yeah.
And that one was one I'm thinking of. And like we said, somebody is in the shuffle. So I'm going to go ahead and say it, that Finn Balor is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. And I feel like Alexa Bliss is going to need a repackage, like a you're going to have to put stock back in her again at some point, give her another run. So give me her to maybe sneak and steal one. Maybe if you hadn't before this weekend, I maybe would have said Chelsea, but but now I'll probably
You know what? Give me new mama Naomi returning.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. And then Bianca comes back, new mama.
Yeah.
She can, they can have. All right, there you go. There's your booking. 2027 Royal Rumble in Arizona.
Hell yeah.
All right, Primo boys. Time to get out of here, man. Thank you guys for listening, downloading, and subscribing. We had the OGs in the house tonight with Primo and myself. Thank you guys. Felt a little nostalgia tonight with just me and Primo here. So Dylan's going to be back with us for sure. So we want to thank you guys all for listening to us. Any old school listeners, new school listeners, we appreciate all you guys so much. Head on over to sitdownmarks.com, subscribe there, give us a follow on your favorite podcast platform. For Primo, the man, the Lucha Daddy on the East Coast, the host with the most from the old school right there.
Hell yeah.
I am DB. We'll talk to you guys next time on the Sit Down Marks podcast. Thank you guys so much. And keep spreading that good word of wrestling. We'll see you later.